Alright, testing. Well, I guess it works right now. So welcome back. I want to show you guys something a little bit about Borderlands 2. This time I'm showing you the Siren. This is my level 8. She was my second character next to Gage. They both were made around the same time, and she was more of my co-op character. So, yeah. I don't remember what most heads are considered like hard to get. Some of them, like that one isn't that hard. This one I believe was a kind of hard one. But I mean, some of these are DLC. Some of them are from like the other headhunters or whatever. You get the gist of it. But in reality, I mean, most of these heads you can get. This one is from the one deal thing. I'll talk about that one in a bit. Yes please. It's a good one, but if you notice the hair texture, it's kind of fucked up. The one problem with this texture. There's some really good heads, trust me, in this game. And she gets some decent ones. Nothing I would go head over heels for. But I like this one the most. Skin-wise, she doesn't have too crazy of skins. Creed gets some really fun ones, and I don't think she gets anything really crazy. This one's cool. This one's actually really cool. This one's actually really tight. Look at her arm. It's different than what it's normally supposed to be. And this one changes it. No, I don't think so. This one actually changes it to snowflakes, which is cool. Same. This one's really cool. I like this one. Some of these are actually, again, some really nice skins. Some actually changed the look of the character. I actually like this one. Yeah. Decent. I think the best one would probably be... Ooh. Last Call. I actually like this one a lot. Love the hair. Actually goes extremely well with this one because the hair is usually white. So, you know, you can go with that. So, what do I go with the build? Now, before we go, I gotta explain this. This class mod is broken like the last one because a normal class mod would only, like a legendary one, would only +5 and everything. This one, as you can tell, is a +7 and 6. So it's a modded one, and it's blue. And if you look at this one's also modded because it's pink, and it says, I'm rubber, you're glue. This I'm rubber, you're glue thing, well, let me explain. It gives you the bonus ability of this antagonist shield, which is the launch slag homing balls at attackers. So for some dumb reason you apply that to that, so you gain that, but it gives you weaker stats. So it's up to you. I'm not using this class mod, but I'll show you what class mod we're going to be using. It's a little bit more of my fun one.
Always more to learn.
Size Lock, Mind's Eye, Sweet Release, and Wreck. Mind's Eye is for critical hit damage. Sweet Release is when they release the balls, they heal you. It's our only form of healing with this character, and it's going to be nice. Wreck, because fire rate and damage. Just because damage. Next you're going to get the Ward. Shield capacity is nice, but the shield recharge delay is even nicer. Accelerate, so guns do more damage, and they travel faster. Good and bad, depending on the gun. Suspension, so enemies last longer in our hold. Inertia, because reload speed is nice, 50%. Phase Lock, so enemies stay longer. And Subsequent, so it goes to another. Converge, so it brings all the enemies together. Flicker, more chance of putting a slag. Foresight, reload speed and magazine size are increased, so faster speed and bigger clips. So win-win both of all. Emoliate, when we go down, we start doing 50% extra fire damage, which is really nice, especially to get up. Cloud Kill, they buffed this, so now it does about, I want to say, almost 1,000 tick per damage without slag, and it's really fast ticks. So this is just can outclass some good stuff. Reaper, because 40% extra damage when shield is down, but we're going to get a class mod that's going to boost this up even better. Next we're going to get Blight of the Phoenix +1. Going to mix out Reaction Chain and Get Rune. Usually this last point either goes into thought lock, which I'm playing by myself, so yes, but if you're playing with people, go with res. Thought lock is cool by yourself because enemies less focus on you, but when you're playing with people, you're mostly playing with a character that usually tends to let enemies focus on them, so that's why you get res. And the class mod I normally use on this character with this specific build is the legendary binder class mod, which again is broken, which gives a 7 to Reaper, which is 96% extra damage when enemy is more than 50% health. Really good against shields. You may say, why not you put a point in Helios? We don't need the fire damage, and Blade the Phoenix is just there to look cool for tick damage. But I mean, you can, if you want. Yeah, but it's useless. But the suspension skill is nice. Point and wreck, and in sweet release. But it's all nice. I guess you could put it in there, since it does get boosted by the... what is it? By 1. And I mean, like, there's nothing I really want to put my skills into anyway. Oh, let me explain Thought Lock. Thought Lock is where enemies, so it's lying to you in one of those, and it's for cooldown. It does not add anything to your cooldown. So this is a lie. It gives you 4 seconds added to your duration, and enemies do fight on each other, which is nice. This basically makes sure we can have it back faster, and that's just it goes to enemy, which is kind of cool and neat. So now enemies are going to be more going fighting after each other than being hold, which is more, it's better for single player than it is for multiplayer, because single player, it's better to have that way, so an enemy would kill it, so you would heal, versus a player, because the enemy's going to go run around. If it's locked for players, they can go and funnel them, so you don't have to worry about stuff. That's how Maya's supposed to be, and that's how she's supposed to kind of do. She's supposed to help funnel the control of the battleground to mostly aid her friends. That's how she's supposed to play. But her negativities are, she doesn't work very well by herself too much. Like, she can run OP8 and OP10 like perfectly fine, but it's not like she has a kind of particular hard time with bosses depending on her gear. Like, yeah, she's not really meant for raid bosses, but I mean, like, why would you want to use a character who's meant for healing, support, and overall battle control for mobbing than for raid bossing, other than just being good support for raid bosses, which kind of does suck, but I mean, it helps make her more of an actual character in some regards. She's a nice character in some regards. Weapon wise, I guess we can just explain, because now we're using more weapons. The Grog is mostly just for healing, so don't worry about it. The Win-Win Lady Fist is for damage, because if you hit with a crit, this is the strongest pistol in the game, because of the 800% crit modifier on it. Next is the Royal Ormond. It's just the damage on it and the crit modifier. And the Boss Becca has a 66 already added multiplicative crit modifier added on to the 175% crit modifier already on it from being a Jacob's assault rifle. So it's funny enough to think about this, but assault rifles tend to have a reputation in this game for having shit crits, and it's because their crit modifier is weird. Most crit modifiers like 1.2, and assault rifles are, and I think sniper rifles have a 2.0 crit modifier. I think they have the highest crit modifier out of the entire game, and pistols and pistols, shotguns, and pistols, shotguns, and SMGs have the same 1.5, and then assault rifles have 1.3. But if it's a Jacob's weapon, because they don't have any elemental guns, except very few, and I mean very, very few. Like, it's only their legendaries or their rares. Like, I mean, and their uniques, which are blue weapons with text, legendaries, pearlescence, which they don't have a pearlescent that is elemental. They have 2 uniques that are elemental. They don't have a legendary that's elemental. I don't think so. They might now. I could be wrong. And they have a... I don't even remember, but I know they have a shotgun that's elemental, an SMG that... I know, a shotgun that's elemental, a sniper rifle that's elemental, and technically, by definition on how elements work, so elemental damage, normally, like a Maliwan elemental damage, because they have this special thing, is that when you hit an enemy, it causes splash damage. Now, not every elemental gun does that, only Maliwan. And that splash damage is considered grenade damage. Now, there's a sniper rifle that's considered explosive, but it's not that the damage it does is explosive, it just leaves splash damage that's explosive. So, well, granted that explosive will be boosted by explosive damage, but it gets boosted by grenade damage, which one of my friends says, oh, Krieg can't really do well, but then Krieg can boost grenade damage by 200%. And then my friend was just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, technically it's 100%, but doubling grenade damage is extremely good still. But that's just how Krieg works though. He just doubles grenade damage or triple grenade damage. Okay, what is this guy doing? Oh, he's just coming at me. He hit that crit. Yeah. He had nothing but crit. It hurts. Hit that crit, buddy. Nope. Oh, it's hot. Oh, that's gonna explode. Yeah, now these guns are pretty cool. This is a pearlescent. This is a unique, and this is a seraph. Seraph are only dropped by raid bosses from the first 4 expansions, which are the Hammerlock, Captain Scarlet, Torg of Carnage, and Tiny Tina's DLC. They are the major ones that drop Seraphs. I think the new raid boss does, because they did add the fact that he does have new weapons, but I don't know if he drops Seraphs. I know he has a high chance of dropping a legendary. He's probably one of the only few bosses that has a extremely high chance, but he's worth it. Oh. Easy once you find the exploit, because he just basically just beat him and he dies. Kind of feel bad the fact that that's how you basically beat him, is you beat him and he dies. Yeah, no, because, oh yeah, and then the boss Becca gets a 66% crit because of plus the 175 crit percent. I think Jacob's pistols and assault pistols and are like 2.25, and then their sniper rifles are like 2.50, because they don't have like that. So the thing is, Maliwan has their elemental damage is higher because splash damage. Hyperion weapons tend to have the best accuracy after stabilization. I'm trying to think of like really what makes them good, because Hyperion has this real thing where they have really good shotguns because of their high fire rate, really good damage, and just because they can hit crit, making them really good in very specific situations. And then there's T-Dior, which T-Dior only really makes, like, I want to say this gun that's really, really good, and not much else, honestly, that I would say that is used for their actual shooting. Most of their guns are used on reloading, and they're used for on certain characters. Like, I can do it on Krieg and kill really specific enemies in like one shot with how Krieg can do it with his thing, and my friend thinks it's ridiculous and broken, but it's like, that's kind of what the game is kind of for. The idea is to make a build on something you find fun in this game, and you can do it. There's a form of expression even on the highest difficulties. It's just you need to understand that to get to that point, you do need to get the weapons, and the problem is, I think you do need the mod to get certain aspects out of them, because it's like, to get the best out of certain weapons, you need to get out of, man, I don't even know how to explain it. This thing is just going crazy. But no, this is how Maya kind of works too, because Maya's like throwing things going consistently, and since I'm I'm mostly just fucking around with a shield right now, and all honestly, if I wanted to run a good shield, it would either be the antagonist or the B, depending on what I want. If it's the, I want damage, is what I do. Ow. This is gonna just get me killed anyway. This is what I mean. So the B is that amp shield I was talking about. If I don't know if I mentioned it at all, but I hope I did. So the B and I have some problems. As you can see, I have like some extremely bad luck with enemies, especially when they just keep constantly just doing this dumb shit. B has a really long recharge rate too. Yeah, that was just some quick. Now, okay, now the B's fully active. Oh shit.
Got some for ya. Let's do that again.
Yeah, you just see how that health bar, it just melt. Yeah, that's the power of the B. The B literally can hit and just crit. No, the B doesn't hit, but it amps every single shot, and since none of the three extra shots that get left behind from it count on the item cards, they don't get split like how a shotgun would, because they would take the amp damage of that, of whatever that number is. I don't want to say it. I think it's 1 million. It's 18 million, isn't it? No, it's 1,825,860. You take that number and you divide that by 9, or every pellet like by a times card. But if there's no times card on it, each pellet gets the full bonus without any bonus. So if you know your math, like how this gun will split into 3, that can get boosted by it. The first wave does, but if you get times 2, it splits it in half, but it's still ridiculous because each bullet gets it. That one's again times 10. Binary, like if it shoots 2, since it's technically part of the 2 times 2 on it, they don't get boosted. Rocket launchers don't get boosted because they're not considered bullets, they're considered just explosives. Granted, the bone shredder is ridiculous with it, but I'm trying to show off the SMG that basically is what you use with this. There are also there is a sniper that's recommended with this called the Lilula, but that one is just like more ridiculous and actually more about range systems, and once you get a range in it, it is ridiculously one of the strongest goddamn guns. The pitchfork is also one of those ones that works. It's very similar to it's very similar in design to the Sandhawk, but it is different. I guess I'll just show it off just to show you what I mean. Alright, so this, you see how it travels in that like little vertical thing as it floats? Each one of those bullets are boosted by the full percentage because it's not counted on the item card. And the pitchfork does the same thing, as you can see, but it's a sniper rifle. So both of the guns tend to do it, right? So you're thinking to yourself, oh, that sounds hella broken. Is it? Is there a way to nerf it? No, it is broken. But the problem being is that the B is a very dainty shield. It only has up to 700,000, when Maya has maximum of that, and then, well, actually no, it's only up to 600,000, so it's very small of a shield, even compared to Evolution, which has a small shield but gives the ground of like a huge health bonus. The antagonist is like a fucking tanky shield. The Sham has to have a low shield because look at that absorb chance. It's 94% chance of absorbing bullets. But if there's any elemental gun that causes, or any gun that causes splash damage, like Malawan guns or Torg guns, then the bullet is not, even if it absorbs the bullet, the splash damage is still going to hit and does damage. There is one that actually makes sure you don't get any splash damage, but it's only for electric, and the maximum is 49%. It's called the Transformer. I have that. I don't think I have it on her, though. No, I don't. I do have the Rough Rider, which is, well, granted, it's not the perfect one. It's mostly just used for a very specific build on her. It's used for her speed running build. She has a speed running build where you can increase her maximum speed up to 110%, so she double her maximum running and walking speed, and then you just use the Rough Rider, because the Rough Rider is technically a no shield shield. Well, it's technically a, what I like to call, a zero capacity shield that grants the user all the bonuses of the zero capacity bonus, and depending on the character, And depending on the character, they get huge bonuses from it.
Here you go. You won't enjoy this.
So it's kind of crazy. I think I forgot to de-equip the... Oh shit.
Please stop.
Yay, everything dies at my state. He's dead.
Goodbye.
He's dead. You see how quick they die because of that shit?
Enough.
And now slag. Oh yeah, I should explain the mechanics of slag because this character is using slag a lot more than what most of the characters are going to start using. Krieg doesn't need to worry about slag except when he goes Fire Krieg, just so you can just do two things when you're mobbing. Either A, you're just not worrying about doing all that dumb stuff. Yeah, oh shit.
Wasn't even close. Stop struggling. Stay put.
Yeah, no, this is what I mean about this build. This build's fun. People would recommend, if you want to do more damage with it, use the killer class mod, the cat class mod, and the cat class mod increases SMG damage, and I think I have a, yeah, blue one, and this one increases Rick and Mind's Eye, and gives the same bonus to damage, and it actually just more damage. The only reason I use the binder class mod is just to have my action skill faster, and it lasts longer. And yeah, that's it, just to have my action skill more. That's it. I use that one just when I need my action skill more. If I don't need it, I don't. It's all preference, you know? You could just play the game you want. I mean, I showed you my two major builds with my Krieg, even though I still am trying to experiment with, like, what skills I want to use at the time. Like this one. Ow. God damn it. God, oh fuck, it is hot here. Fuck, it is annoying to die. An enemy threw a grenade and it detonated me. Mostly because since there's no indication where an enemy threw a grenade. Mostly on part of the game, don't blame me. If it's contemporary is based off of trying to be a Call of Duty game, then it's Call of Duty Contemporary is literally... Oh my god, this is why I don't like this fucker. Or bosses in general, they just run away. I mean, I understand that's their gimmick. Oh my god. No, Maya has no defensive properties, so she ends up just dying really quick if she has no way to defend herself. And the major problem is I'm using the beast, so that makes me highly, like a fucking glass cannon. If I get hit, I'm dead. And Midgemong is an asshole. Piece of shit. Wow, I can't... That's what I mean. Like, right when you get a shot off in this gun, it literally destroys everything. But right when you don't have your shield on, you're basically dead. See, that's what I mean. And enemies just all of a sudden just all bullets just aim at me. Yeah, I don't know. I blame AI.
Stop.
Ow. I don't even know where they're all at because I've covered my screen with my freaking blanket. Oh god, it is freaking hotter than hell. All right.
Calm down. This time.
Got it. Okay then. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck happened, but you know what? I guess it happened. I was confused there. Goddamn. You know, I was gonna explain slag before I died, but slag is basically, it does double to triple damage depending on what gameplay you're playing. So in normal and true Vault Hunter mode, think of it as new game and new game plus. It does double damage. And then on ultimate Vault Hunter mode, it does triple damage. Now, here's something really cool though. Here's something interesting. For every player you have, the enemies get stronger. Now, there's two ways the game makes them stronger. One, they double the enemy's health pools, because now there's 2 DPS in the field. So every enemy, and I mean every enemy in the game gets double health bar. And enemies take less damage while they're slagged. Not like, oh, if you slag them, they all of a sudden take less damage. No, it just, the effect is a little less. Instead of it being 2%, I mean 2 times, it's 1.75 with 2. Then it's 1.8 with 2, 1.75 with 3, and then 1.5 with 4. And then it's kind of respectively with 2. With like Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, where it's like 3 point if by yourself, 2.8 with a friend. With 2 friends, it's 2.75. So, you know, slag becomes less effective with more people, but it's still recommended as slag, because again, the idea is that since there's multiple people doing damage at the same time, that's why they want to do it like that. I get it, it's really cool. Also, this robot, you can find him somewhere. He's considered a loot midget, but he won't drop anything. He's just a challenge. So if you want to find him, you have to open him in chest. You have to keep open chest. And I recommend opening chest when you get the Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, because midgets can drop pearlescence, and pearlescence can be from otherwise some of the worst guns in the game to some of the best guns in the game, depending on what you find. You can find one of the best pistols as a pearlescent, which I ended up finding, which was the Stalker, a level 66 Diva Stalker with a high actually it was a perfect Diva Stalker and it was shock, and people were like, oh, put that on shock gauge, and I didn't have a gauge at the time. I only had a Krieg, and he was the first character I played, and it was that Krieg I showed off in the first video I had. And as you notice, I literally got shot as I was trying to. This is my major problem, is I end up getting shot first. I always get shot first. Yeah, right before I start shooting it, they always get shot. Oh my god, I can never fucking see. My major problem is there's no way to indicate where you're getting shot from.
And now you will fall. Hold it.
Got him. Got him. Jesus is fucking hot, man. Oh my god. No shit. Like it is. I am literally sweating a fucking storm as we speak. I'm dying.
That was awesome.
Got them all.
Please stop.
Got him. Got it. Oh shit, I'm out of bullets.
Hold it.
Let's go in with guns blazing, right?
Stop.
Yeah, no, I can barely see, so I have to like literally hit my blanket just to fucking see what my thing is.
Hold it right there.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to just shoot from the hip sometimes. This is one of the better sniper rifles. This sniper rifle though is made by.
Nice.
No, that's not good. So yeah, no, sniper rifles. Why? There has never been a good E-Tech sniper rifle. They're terrible. They're shit. They're garbage. No. Yeah, no. I like how one of the best assault sniper rifles end up being a Hyperion sniper rifle, that ends up being a and the reason why it ends up being so good is because of why does it goes good? Oh yeah, because it's literally a doll. It literally is a doll. It's a doll sniper rifle that burst fire as like, see, this is what I mean. You fire normally with dolls like that, like, and then you fire like that. Like, you look at the SMG and it's like that, slow. Then you burst fire. Yeah, so that's why SMG wise, dolls are the best weapons to have when you aim down snipes, but when you go down with them, they're like really shit. They tend to have very slow rate of fire because of it. Nothing good. Alright, so I showed you this. I guess it's time for the Lelula. Now that's a gun. Lelula is a very special sniper rifle that shoots into 3. Yeah, and it is very strong, very powerful, and one of the best guns in the game. Alright. So if you notice why I'm using shock, and like I said, why am I not gauge, this is Maya, is because when you get to a certain part in this game, especially just normal gameplay, shock is going to be the weapon choice, like the element of choice you're just going to use, because the resistance they take from shock is not high enough for you not to warrant to use slag shock. They take slightly less damage from shock from no matter what it is, unless it's a shield. Flesh enemies take like 75%, and then like who cares, because you're just going to do more damage anyway in slag. And the fire damage, well granted it does do more, but it's just like, why use fire when it's like you're going to run into a armor enemy, and armor enemies take way less damage from fire than they do from shock. So it's like, the reason why we say encumbrance shotgun weapons is because of the idea of it. Yeah, no, this is quite possibly one of my favorite weapons. Yeah, that's a armored psycho. Armored psychos, well granted their health bar is armor with that yellow thing I was talking about, means they're strong against fire. If you hit them in the head with any fire damage, they take the full fire damage, and they take, I mean as in if they were a flesh. So it's one of those things where the game actually has like an actual hidden mechanic of, ooh, that's depth. That's a added up depth. That's like one of those little things where like people go like, ooh, that's something I like. See what I mean? Like shock does so much of these things. Armor enemies tend to have the most health in the game. Yeah, sorry. I have to keep on seeing where enemies are because it's like my thing is literally blocking where the thing is. Alright, so once I get back to Sanctuary, once I get back to there, wait, where's Deathtrap, where's Claptrap at? Oh yeah, no, he's, so we can fight Boom, Boom. I want to kind of do that later. I wonder how far I'm into this. Damn, that was a nice crit. So yeah, no, like I said, each character has their own way of playing. It's just, I end up playing very aggressively in this game. Yeah. About to say, he's just gonna die from that corrosive, right? Good. Yeah, no, acid kill is good. It's really good. It's not bad. People it actually does damage now. They actually made cloud kill good by stacking the damage with it. I wish they did that with every character with some really bad skills, that they just stack the damage with it. But other than that, I mean, it's a good skill. Maya doesn't really have a lot of useless skills other than probably Remicrons. It doesn't do that much damage to the enemy back, and yeah, other than that, yeah, it's nothing really bad. I mean, other than this and that, and then back drift is kind of shit. And Helios, it doesn't do enough damage. I just have it for the extra damage. And Blight of the Phoenix doesn't do enough damage. So she does have some useless skills on her, like a lot of characters do. But Blight of the Phoenix is fine if you're going to have it with this and this. So you can, as long as it's hitting an enemy, you will always be healed. So it's like one of those win-win situations when you're trying to just be a pure support. I'll be back. It's hot.